Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chillin with Sean and Luke show. We're here with Nadia Stone and Bilal Dawson.
Hey.
Give them a round of applause, everyone. There they are on the... Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is kind of impromptu.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. Phil hooked it up.
You got
friend
a nice
of a friend.
recommendation, you know? Like...
Shout out to Phil.
And you were in Phil's little music video for, what was it, Fine By Me?
Yeah, me and Phil have worked together on a lot of different stuff. I was also in like Quake Matthews' music video as well. Him and me have known each other maybe for like 2.5 years, maybe.
Phil?
Yeah.
He's a fucking wild man.
But he's a wild
I love it though.
It's a character, yeah.
So were you guys both like filming that music video?
No.
Was that just him or
For which one?
the Fine By Me?
No, that was all him. He just
Yeah.
asked me to come through and like have a flamethrower. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah,
I was like-
take
I
the
was like, okay,
flamethrower
cool. He's
cameo.
Like the way this guy hit me up, he's literally like, hey man, so like it just sounded really sketch. He's like, he's like, hey man, so like I got this like Tesla and I got like this flamethrower. I'm just wondering if like he would be down to like do some video. And I'm just like,
I don't know.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, like, you know, and like I'll pay you. I'm like, oh, so you're paying me to have this Tesla and a flamethrower. I was like, okay.
It was amazing. I remember he was like, I was on set and he's like, can you just wait here in this sketchy parking lot? I'm just going to go over on the other side to use his flamethrower. I'm like, what kind of video is this? What's going on?
You guys seen the video?
Yeah.
It came out really good.
It looks sick. I still don't understand what it is. What is it?
None of us really understand. we just kind of go with the flow, you know? So.
I was like, oh, this looks fucking dope. But what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was it actually Elon Musk's like not a flamethrower too? Was that?
Oh, yeah.
Was that
Yeah,
actually
it was.
like that was one of the real ones?
Yeah. It was
Didn't he only make like
Crazy.
500 of them?
I think that's what he was telling you, actually. I think
It was
so.
like a really small thing.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 500, but
Or maybe
It's something-
5,000. It wasn't a lot.
yeah, it wasn't a lot. But
They
it sold
sold
for
out.
cheap. It was like $500.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was. $500 to get a flamethrower.
But like it had to be called not a flamethrower
Yeah.
to get through the like importing
Pretty much.
like
It's cool.
option.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys something. Like, it's cool.
Yeah?
It's cool. Yeah. When you hold it in your hands and like, you know, like you can create like you could burn things. You know. Like,
How far did it go?
It's nice. It's far. Like probably like from here to that wall. I'd say like
Oh,
a good 5 feet. I feel like 5-6 feet you could hit.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. And like when you do it too, like you can feel the heat on you, and it's like it's crazy.
That is
I like
fucking
it.
crazy.
I like it.
And that's like a small flamethrower. That's
Yeah,
not
I
like
know.
World War II.
I
That's
know.
insane. I thought that was... I'm dead.
Dude.
Burning down the trenches.
Well, I wonder
Jeez.
what's the distance of something like that?
Oh, an old flamethrower? I don't
Yeah.
know. I have
That'd
no
be
idea. I'm gonna
terrifying.
guess
That'd be-
50 feet.
Probably.
You
Yeah,
get some
probably
really good
far.
military
Bye.
gear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bye.
it's really crazy too. Like I feel like imagine someone just walking around the street with a flamethrower.
I mean, yeah, I would probably be a little like that's probably why the government's like, yeah, maybe don't sell those. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell them anyways.
Yeah.
We actually got the security called on us too. Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if Phil told you that. Yeah, so
No.
like, they came up.
You left
like,
that out, actually.
We were on the parking lot of this
Of course we
place,
did.
and then the security came through, and they're just like, "Hey, so you know, we were just looking through the security footage, and you guys got like a flamethrower and such." We're just like,
Oh my gosh.
you know, they're like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna have to go." We're
You
like,
did the
"Yeah."
old
We're like, "We
classic.
know."
Oh my
Yeah,
god, you
like,
guys did the classic, like just film on a parking garage type
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, I've
Yeah.
been there.
the
Yep.
running gun,
Yeah.
like just hope for the best. You
Like,
know what I mean?
I was filming this guy's music video in Windsor, which is like literally borders
Yeah.
on the Detroit.
Yeah.
He's like, you just put your drone in the air. I'm like, I think that's a really bad idea. We're literally right at the border. I'm going to
Yeah.
fucking go to jail.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like, what happens if in that scenario? Because like, will the drone footage allow you to go past the border?
I think now, because I fly the drone quite a bit, they
Yeah.
literally have like sections where you can't even take it off in the city anymore.
Wow.
Like before you, I see like footage from people who used to like fly their drone just
Yeah.
like in between the buildings. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
fucking
So,
crazy.
is
That
there
is
a way that you
crazy.
can like jailbreak it? Like, is there a way you can hack
Ooh, good
that?
question.
I know that you can like apply online, but I don't want to put myself in that situation where the government knows me and like
Yeah,
knows where
you
I'm
have
flying
that.
a drone around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already know too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of legalities. There's
Seriously.
big fines too. So
Yeah.
I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine.
big fines.
So will it just stop working? Is that what you're saying?
They won't even let you take off if you're in
Yeah.
a restricted area.
And if you
Like,
go
it
too
knows.
far, I think the drone will literally
Just
come
bounce.
back to you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it's
Yeah.
like a DJI, I don't know if
Yeah, I
it's
have
like
the-
one of those.
Mavic 2.
It will like go into the air. It'll say like unmarked space, and then it'll say coming back, and it'll immediately like land.
Yeah,
So it won't even allow you to go.
it's pretty crazy.
But that's pretty sweet. They have
Yeah.
that option.
Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to ask you guys, if you like, for our audience, if you're going to explain to them, I guess you first, what it is you do and why you do it, and what's your story into it.
Oh my gosh, that would take forever.
Three-parter.
but Yeah, seriously. Okay, how should I start? Okay, I'm an Italian Jamaican R&B pop singer. I was born in Toronto. And I just released a new song last month with Universe called What You Sayin'. It's doing really well right now. It's a very exciting video. It was big for like
230K views on YouTube.
yeah, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, it was exciting because this was something that we did for International Women's Day, and every person that was involved in making the video was a woman. So that was really cool. Like the director, her name is Michaela, and she did an amazing job in the video.
That looked dope.
Yeah, it was really cool because like we made it very like movie-like as well, with a little, acting scene, and yeah.
It was very cinematic. That's what the
Thank
first thing I
you.
saw. So
Thank
was
you.
wild.
as
Yeah.
a film guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely killed it.
Yeah, so there's lots more to come. I have a new song out with Notify right now as well. Shout outs to Notify. Yeah, so
Dope. So why do you think you got into music creation?
my dad was a DJ.
Come on.
It's pretty funny, I know.
Your dad's Armin van
like
Buuren.
on,
Sick.
like full on like the disc, like a full disc jockey, like with the vinyls and everything,
yeah.
like that kind of DJ.
Oh, shit.
That's like back in the day shit right there. But are we allowed to say shit on this?
No,
podcast?
no, no.
anything.
This is
You can-
Okay,
this
okay.
Is this is the God's podcast.
The Lord.
We always had music, like old school music playing in the house, and I got like introduced to a lot of amazing legends, and I just started singing at a really young age. I was figure skating first though. I was getting like medals across the GTA.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And how I realized that I had to stop figure skating and go into music was, so when you're doing your solos and you're getting points by the judges, you're not allowed to lip sync to the music. You have to either figure skate to an instrumental or just an actual song. So my problem was that I would get so into it, like during my solos, that I would just start lipping the music and like singing along, and I would just totally forget. So I was losing points by the judges. And I'm like, okay, so I think it's time to go fully into music.
Would you literally just like mouth, like just that's it?
I would
That's all
full blown be singing it.
It literally reminds me of like Will
Yeah.
Ferrell and Blades of Glory.
Oh, right? Oh, that was me. 100% me. Like, I'm so extra.
Yeah.
Like, like it wouldn't last much longer. Yeah. So I just said goodbye to that. And then by the time I went to high school, I just went fully into music, and I just started working with a lot of different directors. I started doing like music videos. I was in Mario's Let Me Love You music video, and that kind of like was the start of me just meeting everybody else and being able to work with a lot of amazing individuals.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Thank you.
Bilal, your turn.
like that's a little hard to follow.
Oh,
up
yeah.
with, you know?
So you're
No,
these
it's
two.
not.
These two are the same. You
Yeah.
and I are pretty
Yeah,
similar.
yeah,
in a
I
sense.
love it.
We have an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
We got
Two
the music and
musicians,
videos,
two content creators.
But so I feel like since I was a kid, man, I was always into doing videos and skits. Like I was like one of those kids where it's like my like hobby back in the day was like watching video tutorials and stuff and like looking at like edits and effects and shit. So I feel like I went to school at York for film. And then I kind of like started getting like more traction through like Instagram, right? Because I was trying to promote my YouTube videos like with short little clips on Instagram, because I was like, yo, if people think I'm funny here, then maybe it'll be better for them to watch like a longer format video, like something like 5-10 minutes. And so after a while, like my Instagram actually did better than my YouTube, and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I'll just do fucking Instagram now. So I started doing that. I started working with like a lot of different people in the city. I started doing a lot of stuff for Six Buzz, and after that, like I kind of just established myself in that realm, and then I started doing like clothing, and like I feel like I'm just kind of like the type of person who can't like do one thing at a time. So it's like 1 minute I'm doing clothing, 1 minute I'm like doing music with her. And so I just kind of feel like I kind of like my little creative space where I want people to know that like, I just do a little bit of everything,
Right.
you know what I mean? Right. So I'm kind of fresh. I'm more fresh on the scene than her, because her and me met
Celebrity basketball game.
at a celebrity basketball game.
August of
yeah.
2019. I was singing the national anthem at it, and then
Oh, wow.
it gets better. Not only did they have me sing the national anthem, they had me play in a basketball game.
It's a lot of work.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm only 5'4", okay? like, and I had like full like makeup, nails, like
Oh
ready
my
to go,
God.
and they're like, "Yeah, she's gonna play in the celebrity game." And they were like, "Okay."
You know, I saw her play
Yeah.
basketball, and I just knew from then on. I was like, she's the one. Man. But yeah, so after that, like, you know, we've been doing a lot of music stuff together. We did a lot of music videos. I directed like 4 of her music videos during quarantine. I did a fucking quarantine album, like a joke album with like a lot of different songs around quarantine.
Shout out to Quarantunes.
Yeah. And I honestly thought, I was like, yo, when did I drop this?
You dropped Quarantunes, I think May.
I dropped it in May 2020,
yeah.
and I remember like I was in a rush to get this album done because I was like, "Yo, we're gonna be done quarantine." I was like, I need to drop this now. I was like, because before this, it's like it's gonna be irrelevant, and now 2021.
We're still
We're
here.
still here.
Oh man.
Dude, I was in the same position with music too. Like I remember my manager being like, "Yo, we got to get this song out for like September,
Right.
Because then everything's gonna be opened up." And we ended up postponing it till January, and I
look
think
at
that
that.
was the better move. 'cause
Yeah, still relevant.
It's we're still
Fortunately,
here.
but
Fuck it.
fortunately for you.
It's starting to feel like, oh yeah, in 5 years we might be having beers at a bar again.
Oh
Dude,
my gosh.
I feel like I'm so like desensitized. I don't even know what it's like to like. I don't even remember what normal life is. Like,
Yeah.
it's been a year since we've like gone in with no mask in a store, bro. Like,
Dude, and,
that's-
and it's at the point now where they're like continuously promising things. It feels like it's like this one is going to be the thing that
This
gets
is
you
the
the
one.
normalcy.
Hell yeah.
It's like, hey, if there's a man watching you sleep at night, then you're going to be back to normal.
Well, I would like to normalize things. We just make fake engagements on Instagram.
Oh
Yeah, we did that for
God.
April
Fuck.
Fools
yeah,
this year.
I got a lot of
Fake engagement.
We did
Yeah.
a fake engagement. Yeah.
Tell the
you-
story of that.
So it was April Fool's, and so we had a picture. Because like her and me both have like stuff with Fashion Nova, right? So I had to do a promotion for Fashion Nova on this day, and I just remember her hand was like so perfectly like
On the
there that I was like,
table.
I could just dash a ring, like Photoshop a ring on her hand, and just like say some like low key stuff, like yo, she said yes, you know what I mean? And just see what people do, you know what I mean? So I got so many people hitting me up that day about going like, oh man, congrats, and like because I feel like. Because I like going into it, people be like, congrats. I'm like, thank you, like I would play into it. I'm like, yo, thank you, like we've really been out here. So, yeah, that was really interesting to make. Like, I feel like we always fucking with people.
So I wanted to get back to your like creative endeavor because I could super relate to. I remember like Sean and I both have that tale of like being 14 and just continuously working on art forms. Like he'd be in his basement, you just hear that fucking shitty band practice blaring through the we were
and over
neighbors,
again,
right?
yeah.
So and then he'd see me with like this shitty VHS like video camera making these like insanely weird sketches.
Yeah.
Because I built like a YouTube channel with my other buddy who's
Yeah.
like pretty successful now. And then I built another one. We did like pretty well. It was what I was telling you about before the podcast called Fun Uncle Comedy.
Yeah.
Like Funny or Die. We won Sketchfest Toronto.
Oh,
like,
nice.
it just and just like that familiarity with like just making the shittiest stuff when you're young, and it just develops into something
You
you're
can
not
relate.
expecting. But I was gonna ask you, how long did it take you? Because I saw you have like 17,000 followers now. Like that is fucking hard to do. How long did that take? Or like, what was the first video that really blew up for you?
So like you were saying, man, I've been doing this since I was like 10. It's been like a solid. I've been on and off, but like it's always been about videos. I've been doing this for like 12 years now, and it's just like I feel like things didn't start working out till like maybe 3 years ago. So it was a long process of like cringe videos, man. Like it's, even sometimes I look back at my videos from a year ago and I'm just like, man, I was like, I can't believe I made that, because in the moment it sounded so dope. Or I was like, in the moment I was like, man, this was really jokes. And now I look back at it and I'm just like, I gotta delete that.
Oh, dude.
Can't
Me
do
and my
it.
buddy did the deletion tour last year.
Really? How many had to go?
At least 7. Just
Oh, that's it?
it's YouTube. We don't do so much like Instagram.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do more like cinematic. Like we plan it out, get a bunch of
Gotcha.
people involved. So to delete one, it was like
Yeah,
then
that's a big deal.
we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But it was just sometimes it'd even be insensitive shit. It was just like, oh god,
Same.
we
You
said
can
that.
relate.
yeah, I feel like because I know for YouTube it's like you could post once a week, so it's like you maybe didn't have to delete as many, but I was like posting 3 videos a week, so it's like certain videos I literally was like she'd tell me about videos that I'd be like I don't even remember making that, so I would go back and watch it and I'd just be like, oh man, I was like, what drugs were I on when making
But
this
I love
shit,
them,
dude?
though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, some of the most cringy, insane videos were like the best.
Yeah.
It's like this is
Yeah.
when I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
honestly, I think that works for both music and videos though. It's like you make
I
the
agree.
best shit when you don't give a fuck, man. Like I feel like now after lockdown, I feel like I almost got like I stopped making as many Instagram videos or just content in general. And I felt like that pressure of like almost being like self-conscious of what to post again, you know? Because like I wasn't as fresh as just posting and being like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like when I was like the most creative, like most like who cares, that's when like the best content came out. And I don't know if you agree, like even for music, it's
agree.
like when you're just free, like feeling it out, like I feel like that's when you make the best stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that. Like, if you put too much thought and too much effort into what you're actually making and what you're creating, it can definitely hinder everything you're trying to do. Because, at least for music, I think what you really want to do is create something that's 100% you.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's just exactly what you want to do and you're not double thinking about it, like you'll just get the best kind of song or the best video out.
Yeah.
But it does take a lot of time.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think for me, like, yeah, I've had so many different bands, and then finally just getting lucky with one, and then being like, oh, cool, maybe we actually have some good music out there.
Yeah.
But then any artist never shows all of the stuff that they make.
Yeah,
So it's like if
that's
you're a
so
content
true.
creator, like you're probably doing all these videos like all the time,
You
right?
try not to think about it. You just try to be like, okay, like the more I think about this video, if it's good or not, it's like it just won't ever get out there.
Yeah.
But for musicians, it's like
You gotta pre-plan it.
Yeah,
You're
you
like,
gotta.
shit, I got
Oh my
40
gosh.
songs.
Yeah.
Well, the one
People
thing
are only gonna hear 10.
The one thing
Yeah.
I'll say about like stuff like that you create is I was always reliant on a group of people to be in it, and then I'd be a character within that. Whereas when you put something out, I notice it's basically only you,
Yeah.
which takes a lot of balls. So I'm just getting used to that style.
It really wasn't always like that. I used to be like you. Like I literally was at the point where I was like, I need people in my videos. I
In the
always would
vlogs.
try, or in my
Yeah.
vlogs, I would always try to get people, and it wasn't so much that I couldn't rely on other people. It was more so I didn't want to rely on other people. You know, like I
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
wanted to be able to say. So say for example, it's like I don't know if this is selfish to say. It's like I don't want people to be on my channel or my Instagram account because this other person's funny. It's like I want you guys to know that like if it was always me doing the videos, it's like I want you guys to like my stuff, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
not, you're not here for the cameos, like you're here for, if I can get a cameo, that's perfect,
Yeah.
but I wanted to be able to strengthen myself as just like able to play both characters, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just nice because it's like I didn't have to plan anything out. It's like I just rely on myself, and I like that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask both of you, like, who were the kind of inspirations you guys had in both music and I don't know what you'd classify your like.
Yeah,
Is it
content,
comedy,
yeah,
content
yeah,
creator?
yeah.
You know, so
You want to go first? Go for it.
Like artists that inspired
Yeah.
me, would you say?
yeah.
Definitely Aaliyah. I still love her to this day. God rest her soul. I just always found her to be like really mysterious, and her vocals were just so soothing. And she was just such an interesting person. She kind of was the all around, like she did acting and dancing, and I do all those things as well. So she's someone that I constantly look up to and I love. And I mean, like I also do acting too. So just seeing his skits alone, like he inspires me as well. Like, you know, I think we both push each other. And yeah, I feel like we're always giving each other ideas.
Yeah, 100%. Because like when she because we live together now, right? And so when she came here, I was like, oh, we'll build like a studio thing, right? And then next thing you know, like I'm hanging out, like she's making songs, and I'm sitting here going like, yo, let me hop on a track. And now next thing you know, I'm sitting here going like, no, we could be doing music. So I definitely feel like we definitely like fed off each other, and then even she'll give me skit ideas, and I'm just like, oh, I was like, that's good. I was like, okay, we'll do this. So it's definitely nice having that. As far as my inspiration, I'm trying to think because I want to say like when it comes to comedian inspiration, I really like Dave Chappelle.
Okay. He's all right.
I like Louis C.K. I like Louis C.K., but then, you know, he did that whole...
wanked off.
that whole wank, you know. So
He's back, baby.
He's back.
He's back.
I actually saw him.
Gotta love him.
I actually saw him in Toronto before.
Yeah, you did Yuck Yucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
was
went to
there.
that show. That's
Yeah, and
I heard about that.
My one boy was with me, and he got so fucked up that we weren't able to get in.
Come
first.
on.
I
No.
swear. And I was just like, I was so cheesed at my friend that time because I was like, dude, this is Louis C.K. I was like, we're never gonna have a chance to see him at like a small venue like this, right? Like I was like, this is once in a lifetime. I was
Especially
like,
now.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, yeah.
fucked up, man.
Fuck.
And so we had to go for a walk. I had to bribe.
Sober him up.
Had to bribe the bouncer. I was like, come on. I was like, I got him. I was like, you guys can kick us out if he's too loud. And when I saw Louis C.K., like,
and you got in there.
They got in.
I finessed it.
I'm like,
I
who
finessed
are you? Like, how did
I
you?
know, I
How did you
finessed
pull
it.
that?
And just it's crazy, like to see. It's like something's like so powerful of like being one person standing on a stage and entertaining me for an hour straight. Like there's no visual effects to rely on.
Yeah.
There's no other people like script writing planned. It's like just one guy sits there and it's just like the whole hour I was literally dying. And it's hard for me, like as someone who like writes comedy and shit, right? It's really hard for me to like laugh out loud at some shit. And like this guy dead ass made me laugh out loud. And
Dude.
I was like,
It's
Yeah,
a
it was
crazy
amazing.
skill, right?
fuck, yeah.
Because you're not doing anything but using your mouth and talking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
This
all it
fucking
is.
Yeah.
this like clap comedy that's coming out now. Like I want to put a gun in my mouth when I hear it. Like where it's literally just like, am I right? It's like, oh, you're right. It's like,
Everyone
go
should wear
fuck
a
yourself.
mask.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like shit's so
That is
different.
so
The biggest
true.
pussy shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's why when comedians like, I don't know if you know who Ryan Long was. He was huge in Toronto. Now he's like blowing up in
No.
New York.
No.
But
Ah, good for him,
he
though.
would just flat out say the craziest shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like just that like gut reaction you get when someone says something really
Yeah.
rude in like
Yeah.
in the craziest
Right.
setting in front of anyone. That's when humans naturally laugh, right?
Exactly.
So Louis just had that
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
cannon.
yeah.
Dave Chappelle would say a lot of fucked up shit, and I just think that
You need to.
Yeah, but
Nowadays-
now we're in cancel culture.
Oh,
Like,
bro.
everything is canceled.
It's
Did they cancel?
it's a badge of honor to get canceled now.
Right.
Dude.
Who was it? Was it Blues Clues or SpongeBob? They were
Like-
trying to cancel one of those.
Yeah, someone from
right.
SpongeBob, I
It was
think.
It was somebody from SpongeBob, and I'm like, really, guys? Like,
Now you blow up if you
Yeah.
get canceled, though, right? It's like, well,
True.
there's an extra million followers.
yeah, I guess you could
true.
say, yeah, maybe cancel culture actually does give you a little bit more like quote unquote clout, you know. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people will cancel people for like the dumbest shit.
yeah, I know.
But another thing is like, what does it even mean to get canceled at this point? It's like, oh, you can't perform on YouTube. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's fucking 400 minutes of ads before every video.
Did you guys look at David Dobrik's cancel?
Oh,
stuff?
yeah. That,
What are you guys' thoughts on
that's
that?
crazy. I don't know. It's just like, because death by association, like that guy lost like $50 million in a day.
That was.
Do you feel like he
crazy.
deserved it?
I don't know the circumstance. Like, it's
Yeah.
so hard. That's the problem with cancel culture. Everyone feels like they have an opinion on
Yeah.
the event.
That's true.
Once it goes to court and the courts decide, like people forgot about the judicial system. It's like, what the
They
fuck
really
happened?
did.
Like to
Yeah,
North
the court
America,
of
this is a free
public
fucking
opinion.
like
Yeah.
place.
So his situation was like he was a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was making a YouTube video, and then there was
Something
somebody
happened
in
after.
the YouTube video.
Yeah, so it's like-
I don't know the full. I think who's the.
Are you talking about Ethan and Trisha Paytas, their podcast, their Frenemies podcast? Because they were talking about the whole thing on there.
I think it was Tim Dillon. Might have been.
Oh,
might have
okay.
been
Oh, yeah, Tim
Who's
Dillon.
probably the worst person to get the information from.
What was he
he's-
saying?
Do you know
Oh.
Tim Dillon?
No,
Oh
I was
my
just like, what was he
God.
saying? That like,
Well, he was saying that the person that shot
Yeah.
the Asian women in was David Dobrik. He
Remember
was
the
like,
hand job part?
yeah, he was just, like his whole video was
Yeah.
saying he was purposely mistaking
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah.
And then at the end he's like he's a ridiculous comedian.
Yeah.
He's
That's-
probably the most
But,
over the
yeah,
top.
over the
right?
top. Yeah.
that is amazing.
And so, anyways, but then he's like, "Wait, do I have the wrong name? Am I talking about the wrong person?"
That's
Like he's like, and he did this whole apology video.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't get how they relate to it. And he starts playing
That
the
is
apology
crazy.
video.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious, man. There's like a whole nother subgenre of like apology videos too. Now
Oh,
you
yeah.
can get like you got good apology videos. You got like top
Cringe,
tier,
yeah.
you got cringe ones. Yeah,
The thing is, like, I feel like now everybody's being canceled.
Yeah.
Like, name me someone who Fucking Rogan's got canceled. Kevin Hart's got every single one of them's got. It's like, who's left?
Yeah.
We're going for D-class fucking celebs now. It's like, if you actually give a fuck about somebody getting canceled, you're a loser now.
Yeah.
Unless it's like just like the worst shit ever. Where it's like you're drugging women and shit. Then it's like, okay, that's terrible.
That's what they're kind of saying. Well, not drugging, but they're saying that they like with
that's
David
what
Dobrik's,
I don't know the situation.
The Dirty Dom guy, like
Dirty Dom.
That's Dirty Dom.
Who's Dirty Dom?
So he's like a guy in his crew. He's the one that's doing it, and that's why
he's drugging people.
Not drugging. Well, allegedly, I don't know. He's allegedly. I don't know if he fed the drinks to the girls. The girls were minors, and
see, that's the problem, right?
Yeah, I think there was one or two of the girls in the group.
They weren't minors.
One was at the time.
44.
No, they weren't. They weren't old. One wasn't old enough to drink, so she was a minor to not drink, but she wasn't a minor
she was
to
18.
have sex. She was 20 because in America,
okay,
20.
right.
Yeah,
I know.
20.
So
this whole situation sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the lawyer.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So I guess the guy, he kind of like coerced her to go into the room, and he like kind of like forced himself on her when she was like incoherent.
She was intoxicated.
So that's why it's been such a big thing. And that's why David is kind of like guilty by association.
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey,
his boy. Like,
I think the reason why David Dobrik's getting like so much shit for it though is because it's not so much that like he himself did it, but like David Dobrik has a tendency to like, because he knows he has
for
that
the vlog.
He's like,
for the vlog.
He's able to like get people to be like, just do it, man. Like, just do it. Like, I feel like he would even go up to girls and be like, yo, just do it for the vlog. You know what I mean? Like, he has that type of energy. So he's not getting charged for anything. It's just more so like, oh, dude, so you knew your like best friend was like doing some real like scumbag shit, and you just kind of let it slide because it's good for the vlog. You know?
Kind of reminds me of like Ellen. It's like there's like
Exactly.
the really nice person, and then they like just beat the fuck out of their like workers in the background.
I think you can only get canceled though if like
you give it merit.
But she's good now again, right? Like she's back.
I think they're all gonna
back,
bounce. Eventually, you can bounce back.
I think you only get canceled though like when it's like you say I feel like it's the worst part when it's like you say that you're better than the average person, you know what I mean? So it's like the reason why I feel like the David Dobrik Ellen shit was so big is because it's like we're so positive and like we would never say it's like everyone's equal and and then so when you hear about that shit, it's like, oh, you're such a fucking hypocrite. You know what I mean? But the reason why Dave Chappelle or Joe Rogan can't get canceled is because they're like, man, fuck it. They're like, who gives a fuck? I feel like if you have that type of
bulletproof,
if you have that stance to just be like, man, fuck it, man, it's just a joke. It's like, okay, well, I guess it's just a joke. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really say the same shit.
Like Dave Chappelle purposely left Hollywood because he was like, everyone thought I was crazy for leaving Hollywood, but I fucking told you. He was like, I literally left, and everyone called him crazy. Like, he went to South Africa.
I remember that.
He got $50 million.
I watched that.
That was so good.
Yeah.
You're like, man.
That takes a lot of balls, though, to like
say that.
To have that money sitting there. What was it, like
50 million?
Yeah, have that money sitting there and going like, nah, like that's some real balls right there. Like, you have to be confident in your craft. I feel like to do that.
The last thing I'll say about cancel culture is like it's really hard to care when you're literally trapped in your home for a year.
Yeah,
it's like
seriously.
It's like I feel terrible for these people who are affected by it, but at the same time, it's like, I can't even fucking do anything right now. I'm just like...
It's like information overload.
Yeah.
It's like, can we cancel the government for everything they've done to us?
Seriously, I'm first in line because...
fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, if we're talking about, like, obviously, if people have done something bad, they should, not have a platform. But, like, fuck the government.
I feel like we're the slowest...
It's like, literally, like, think of how badly... Obviously, there's pluses and minuses. But, but I just, the mental health aspect of this and just people... We had this guy, Roz, on, and he's got a store just down the road called Antica and a store called the Ode and the Fuzz. And he had rented the bar out in, like, January 2020. So they only had it for 2 months. They got it set up.
Horrible.
And then, like, everything was closed. And then, they opened up briefly when they allowed us to open up. But it's been tough.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like for the most part, we're pretty lucky,
It's so stupid,
but
man. Because
other people have it tough.
Yeah, like if you have a small business, it's like 1 minute they're like, oh yeah, so we can't give you money, but because you guys have a store, but like you can't open your store. And it's like, okay, so yeah, you're a small business, and you can't actually open your shop, but it's like, oh, but you don't qualify for EI or CERS. So it's like they're just basically just saying fuck you.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
No.
Nothing.
And also just as artists and content creators, it's like literally if you were to think of anyone who worked in banking or the finance or any of these jobs, if those people had completely lost their jobs for a year or two,
There's no way we'd be locked down.
Yeah, there's no way, because they have a lot of money.
I always
right?
said, if
yes.
But it's the fact that a lot of it is, like artists or like, small businesses. So it's tougher to have like the leverage.
I would love to see politicians live off CERB and be like, these
Seriously,
lockdowns make sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's always that way though. Even like any time in history, man, it's just fuck the little guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So even like it seems so like this world right now with content creation just seems so weird. It's like even with TikTok and like just the way things are going, it's almost just like, to me, like,
There's a push for living in your house.
It just feels like everybody wants to be like that, like content creator, which is fine, but it just seems like so, in a way, toxic like environment that people are willing to do. It's like I can't compete with the person who doesn't care about themselves. Like if they're willing to do anything on camera, then I'm just gonna sit there and go, okay, man, like do your thing, dude. Like, I don't know.
What are your guys' thoughts on TikTok? Because honestly, I put like one video out and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave
I
this.
was kind of like that in the beginning, but then I ended up doing a video. It was like so random. It was on like a Maybelline eyebrow like tattoo thing, and I used like an Instagram filter like to do it. And like the Instagram filter was one of those like beauty filters that all these girls are using, and it sometimes glitches on you, right? So it was glitching like around my mouth area. So I guess it made it look like I had like lip liner like drawn up here. So like people literally took it like to heart, and they were like, you drew your lip liner up here to your nose. You just disgust me. And then boom, 3 million views.
Holy
thanks TikTok. So now I'm at 55,000 followers, and there we go. So thanks TikTok, this has been great.
Oh my god,
I love TikTok,
Yeah.
man. TikTok's fun, man. Like I fuck with TikTok. It's actually like it's a good platform because it's like you can have no followers, and it's just like as long as your content's good, it's like it will show it to anybody. You know what I mean? It's just like you have to be kind of consistent on it. So that's what I'm saying. It's definitely a dominance like realm now where it's like who can get the most attention now. You know what I mean? Because it's 1 minute you could have like a 5 million view video, and then the next minute you have like a 200 views, because it's like it's constantly ever changing. So it doesn't kind of like discriminate in that sense, but sometimes it just gets tiring because it's like, man, I'm tired of putting this shit out, man.
stuff.
Well, you know what? It kind of like when YouTube first started, the algorithm, like I don't even know if there was an algorithm. Your shit would just get viewed by everyone. So everyone was getting big. That's what TikTok right now kind of feels like.
Yes.
Right now it's in like the semi-infant phase where anyone can get it, but just wait until there's the established few, and then they're like, oh, we should just push these guys all the time.
I can kind of slowly see that now starting, but still like not as bad.
I'm like a no one on there, and I'll get like 1,500 views on there.
Yeah.
So it's like, and just for ranting on like podcast shit. So it's not.
But it's like a weird platform in a sense because it's not like YouTube or Instagram where it's like you have a profile necessarily, and like you have like certain things, like I don't know. It just seems more so like the home page is necessarily usually like the For You page, so it's people you don't actually follow. Where I feel like YouTube and Instagram isn't like that. It's only strictly people you follow.
Well, that's why
is the difference.
YouTube was like that, right?
Yeah,
like back in
just be in the Discover page.
Back in the day, you'd just be like, oh fuck, that's fun.
Yeah, I miss those YouTube days.
Me too, man.
Yeah. The prime of YouTube, and then it got destroyed.
Seriously.
Oh, it's like Jimmy Kimmel on the front page, and you're like, oh
You're
god,
like, great.
I put a gun in my head.
Content seems so different now. It just seems like, in some sense, it's like, it's more quantity over quality, and then it's just YouTube shit. It's just everything. You just can't say shit anymore, man.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't say nothing.
Or you can, and that's how you get really big. You say the craziest shit.
But you better stick by that shit. Yeah. You can't go back after that.
Yeah, literally, it's like you look your family in the eyes, and it's like, I'm going this way. And they're going to disown you. But I feel like that's anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's like George Carlin had this old fucking story about how his mom was like super religious. Do you know who George Carlin is?
No.
He's like one of the most famous. He's dead now, but
you're talking about the comedian?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the specific set.
No, but he had this like situation where his mom was super religious and like would always go to church and be like, "Isn't what my son does so disgusting?" And then eventually like the women who work at the church were like, he's doing this to like for good reasons, and ever since that his mom was like, "Oh, my son's the best." So it only, you can like for me, I'm really into like dark comedy, right?
So are we.
Yeah. So
too.
I feel like my family is much like they're always just like disassociate with whatever I put out, but eventually if I did get to that level, they'd be like, "Oh yeah,
this
like
is great.
we were with him the whole time."
Dude, I can relate. Like my mom literally will watch some of my videos. She'll be like, "Bilal, I just didn't like that video where like you were fucking yourself in a wig," and I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, you know, I was like, I feel like you could have just passed that video. You know, you didn't gotta like really watch it like that. So I definitely get the thing of you know.
Yeah, what your parents think of your content.
I don't think they don't hate my content, but my mom has specifically said, I feel like my dad just doesn't know what's going on. My dad's not really on the computer like that. But I feel like for my mom, she watches that shit and she goes, you know, there's certain videos I can watch and there's certain videos I can't watch. And I'm like, that's fine. I was like, it's not for everybody. I'm not making this video for my mom to watch. You know what I mean, I'm making this for, you know, other people.
Yeah,
so
that's the
like,
worst when you went like if your mom acts or like one of her friends shows the video. Like I have one where like I do like a circle jerk, and it's like we summon a demon accidentally. He makes us have a big circle jerk with like a group orgy.
This sounds like my kind of content.
Amazing.
And then the wife comes home and he's like, "I swear a demon told us to do that."
That's good.
Holy Raj.
I think we need to see that.
I'll show you guys.
Yeah, definitely show us
But
that.
it's just like the thought of my mom seeing that. She's like the biggest, like, why don't you just be like Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh my god.
I get it.
Bless their hearts.
I'd rather not ever do comedy. It's like I even like the other day I posted a video about like I have this idea called assisted suicides, like the sketch, and this like guy I work with was like, I don't know if I want to watch it. It sounds pretty sad. I'm like, but that's the whole point. Like it's making fun of like the darkest shit. You know,
exactly.
I remember like it's so funny too because it's like I would have a lot of those like similar like dark humor videos. So like when I'd have like a normal like regular job, right? I would try my hardest to make sure no one at that job knew my videos, right? And there would always be the one person who like actually finds it out and they're just like, "Hey man, I feel like I've seen you somewhere." I'm like, nah. And then they'll come back the next day and be like, "Yo, I saw your shit." And then they'll start going to everybody in work like, "Yo, this guy makes videos, like look his shit up." And then everyone will be commenting about the videos after and I'm just like, oh my god, like I just can't handle. I was like, okay, I gotta get a new job now at this point. Like
dude, that's kind of like as far as the parenting, what happened with our Halloween special and my dad was just quiet.
Oh yeah.
What happened with the Halloween special?
But that's not.
No.
I don't. No.
Wait.
But you could argue though. I feel like somehow you can argue that because it's artsy.
But my dad didn't like it.
Your dad didn't think
he
it was
didn't
artsy.
like it.
I feel like there's a lot of
good.
dads in modern day that are like just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and I think my dad was like that because, like, first of all, I love Halloween. Like,
who doesn't?
I live for Halloween. So I wanted to do like a 2-part music video special that we had like a whole like Halloween theme going on. So in the beginning of the video, I like paid homage to the movie From Dusk Till Dawn with Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney, Salma Hayek, and there's a part in the movie where Salma Hayek is like the vampire, but before she comes in, does that like really seductive dance in the outfit and whatever. So I literally got that exact same outfit. We did like a whole part of that in Regular's nightclub downtown. Bilal directed it, but there was a scene where I was basically chasing him the whole video, like seductress, like getting him. And then the moment I like give him a drug, he then whatever, he hallucinates and he wakes up and I kill him. But in that moment when I bring him to the motel to like give him the drug, it's like a little sexy time.
She has to get me, you know, like she has to seduce me first before like,
little
you know,
sex tells, you know? And my dad just watched the video just in pure silence, just seeing us like on the bed together and like
was
making out.
I with you when we watched the video?
No.
When you saw it?
I made sure I wasn't there. Do you know how awkward it'd be to like, do you know how
my
awkward
dad was
it'd
just
be?
silent and he just went
Cool.
Like it did not talk to
To look
me. I
at
was
your
like, oh
girlfriend's
shit.
to look at your girlfriend's dad like in the eyes while like like we're making out and like
Oh
on this
my
thing. I'm just like
God.
Yeah, it was.
That would have been a great like reaction video.
I should have.
If you just had the camera.
Yeah, I just like quietly. So what do you think, Dad? It's just silent.
Like I'm gonna kill him.
you know though, it could be so much worse though. Like imagine
Yeah.
like I always wonder this. It's like even like as like
Yeah, it's
the
fun,
father
right?
of a
Like,
porn
yeah.
star. You
I'm
know,
arguing
like,
sex sells, Dad.
Well,
Come on.
the only dispute is the father of a porn star is they're probably not the
man.
best dads.
Yeah.
You ever,
Yeah.
seen
You know
your,
what?
you ever seen your daughter's
Yeah.
work? No, I'm fucking sticking
I'm
my
not-
nose. Yeah.
I'm not there. I don't know.
The fuck?
Dude.
I've been in jail since I was 14.
God, that is hilarious. Oh
Shit.
man.
That'd be a good documentary, The Father of a Porn Star. That sounds like,
That
The
sounds like a
proud
novel.
father of a porn
That's
star.
really good.
Damn.
That could be a little. That could be a
Yeah.
bit. A little
might-
sketch.
yeah, we
We
might need to
literally
make that a thing.
we had this. Actually, me and Jacob had a sketch written for that. Like, my daughter's a porn star, and he has like all her trophies up in the house, and she's like fucking
Trophies.
before dinner. He's like, there she is working right now.
Have you ever seen like the sketches where it's like when you're dating a porn star, right? And then it's just like the porn star will come home from work and it's just like, oh hey babe, like how was work? And she's like, oh, it was long. And I really took a beating today, and it just I just we got 3 guys in this time. It's like I've never had that
tonight
much.
was with Deshaun and like
I wonder how that works. I feel like the only time you can date a porn star is when you yourself is a porn star as well. Because then the
Yeah.
feeling's mutual. It's like, okay, so
True.
there's multiple fuckings going
A
on.
lot of comedians
man.
actually date porn stars.
Really?
Like, I always hear, like guys at the cellar will always be, oh yeah, this porn star popped by and would listen to
Wow.
her say, yeah.
I
Like a
believe that.
lot of them.
I feel like
Wow.
comedians are the most like low key depressed people.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
why I feel like they're
Yeah, they wouldn't
they're
care.
most psychotic.
Are they
exactly.
low
They
key
don't
depressed?
care.
I think they're pretty open.
they're high
Yeah,
key
yeah.
depressed.
When I was doing stand up and like just the open mic circuit for like a few months, every night I got so depressed myself because every night I was like, who here wants to kill themselves? Like, it's like the 4th person who said that.
After a while, I feel like everyone's just like, oh, I don't.
I don't know. I don't
Like, no.
want to
This
kill myself.
is insane. And it's like, and the worst part about an open mic is like it's only just comedians
Yeah.
you're performing in front of.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That
you
is
see the
so
same person at the
funny.
next mic like a half hour like
Fuck.
down the line.
Dude, how do you not like shit your pants while doing stand up that much, man?
Here's the thing. I did a lot of like improv at Second City. But still, like it took me forever to like build up that muscle where like I didn't shit myself. I would get like severe panic attacks.
Yeah.
I'm the type of comedian, like I don't really do it anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
I wish I could get back into it because I feel like I'm gonna age out. But I have to like fully memorize everything to a fucking T.
Yeah.
And even then I might like mess it up. So I'll be like in my living room, I'll put the TV on and I'll run through like a 5-minute set 10 times in a row every day.
Good for you.
But that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
But no.
Do you feel like by you planning it, that actually like, do you feel like that hindered you? Because like if you were to fuck up one line, I feel like you forget everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you like it's hard to explain because stand up and improv are so different. When I was doing improv, it was just like off the top of your head and it was, somehow it would just like work itself out. But stand up, if would it hinder me, it's like I was so young. I was like 23, 24 when I was doing the stand up. So I feel like now it would be different. I feel like Robin Williams would memorize all this shit like to a T too, right?
Yeah.
It was almost like in a Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
feel like they all do, no? Like even like Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K. I feel
Kevin
like
Hart.
you
same
have-
thing.
Yeah.
They do. I think the difference is they've been doing it so long, so their form of memorization is just doing mics. Whereas me, I didn't get as many opportunities, so I would have to practice in my living room.
Yeah.
That would be my makeup for a microphone night. Right?
Got you.
For me, the craziest thing to think of is you have nobody else to rely on.
Seriously.
Like when you're playing with a band or you have a group or whatever, you're up there with
Center.
your friends and you're all in it together, right?
You came to my
Yeah.
show.
Huh?
You saw me perform.
Yeah, no. I'm more talking about the fact that like if you are nervous or if you mess up
Yeah.
or you're gonna hit a punchline but you say the wrong thing or say you just have a lot of like butterflies in your stomach, there's no one there to back you up.
Yeah, that's
It's just
it.
you and a microphone.
It's just you, baby. Like that's
so
it.
yeah, you gotta.
I just
you gotta be
remember
confident or
being,
just
like,
have some whiskey or something.
what was the
Oh, you have to, bro. You gotta drink if you're gonna do. Like when I was doing
drink.
stand up, bro. Like I had to drink. Like
Yeah.
there was no other way I could go on. And like when someone doesn't laugh at your joke, it's like the longest minute of your life.
Dude,
like
open mics are the worst for that. I was doing shit that like it was like really wild and like loud and like singing and crazy shit, and like guys at open mics would look at me like, this guy is fucking insane. And I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And then like I finally did it in front of crowds, and like the crowd was loving it. So I was like, okay,
awesome.
I'm not fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's something to this.
It is wild when you play to your first when you have a lot of people.
Yeah.
We had this show. The first big show I ever played was with a band from the UK called The Vaccines, and it was at the Opera House.
We could really use them right now.
Yeah, The Vaccines. I know they have a funny band name for this.
Funny. Oh my god.
So they're from like the UK, and we're at the Opera House. It was like 800 people, sold out. And it was just going on, and I just remember being so fucking nervous. And for whatever reason, I ate like a huge burger and fries before, and was like, I definitely had a couple too many beers. But like, it even took me like 3 years till I actually finally felt comfortable. And then like one of the first completely sober shows was at like Danforth Music Hall.
Nice.
And I just remember just like not having any, like nothing to drink, but it was also just really weird. Because you're just, there's so much clarity where it's kind of nice
You're
to
so
have.
aware of everything.
Yeah, you're so aware of everything. But then after, everyone was like, dude, that was one of the best shows I've seen.
That's awesome though.
And you're like, yeah, but I just don't know if it's
What do you
fun.
I was going to ask you if you could explain that anxiety you felt. Like, where was it in your body? Because I know what you're talking about. Like,
It's in the
almost like you
stomach, for
can't even
sure.
talk.
I feel like
It's
it's
true.
like at first you get there and it's like, you know, everything's good. Like you have good energy. And then it's like, you know what number like set you are, right? Like, you know, you're going after this person. It's like the more people who start to go down, you start to like get a little like, you know, anxious. You start to like maybe have another drink. And then like you can feel like your palms sweaty. And then it's just like after a while, it's like you get that choice to either like decide to be like, yo, don't let me go on. Or you're just like, fuck it, let me go. But I feel like the high of like being on that stage and like being able to talk to people is like, when you're done it literally feels like you
So
just
good,
like it
yeah.
feels so fucking good. And like it just feels like you're about to have a heart attack, but you gotta make it look like you're not about to have a heart attack in front of people. Because it's like you gotta almost be calm, and it's wild, man. Like
It's like there's like almost like a feeling behind your eyes that you're like going blurry and shit. It's crazy.
Dude, like I remember.
Do you perform live a lot?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I had the opposite problem. My fear was like studio recording. I just
shit.
like, it took me a long time to be comfortable in that. I just couldn't get over like the sound. I'm like moving one headphone and the other and like hearing it like right there. It was hard because I was trying to get the notes to sound like just like how it does when I'm just live. I don't know. Live for me, it's just, I can't relate.
And I think it's like, I think you gotta hear the shit over too. Like when you're in the studio, it's like, at least when you're live, you hit one bad note. It's like, whatever, it's gone. It's in the past now. But like for this, it's like when you record and you're in front of other like professional people, it's like, okay, so we're going to listen back to that 20 fucking times.
And then when it's shit and they have to keep playing, they're like,
yeah,
can't you really sing? Like it's, I'm telling you, like that's a bad moment right there. Yeah. Like,
the pressure of that shit, I imagine.
Yeah,
Do you
so,
think
like-
it's like worse to perform? Because you've done both. Do you
Yeah.
think it's more anxiety to perform in front of people, or is it worse to perform in front of a camera? Because like I know she did the Fox 29 stuff. Do you feel like that was scary? Because even though there wasn't a
That
lot
was
of people,
scary.
you know a lot of
Yes.
people are gonna watch
What's
it.
Fox 29?
So Fox
Like
29
Fox
in
News.
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was a show, like a morning show by Quincy Harris. He was like a big radio personality, and like I think he did like some music as well. But now he has his own morning show called the Q Show on Fox 29. And I did
Q Show.
The Q
That didn't
Show.
age well.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. So he did that, and I went on the show and I sang my song live. But it was different because there was only like a small studio audience, maybe about 20 people, give or take. And that felt weird because like all the quiet moments and like gearing up to it, that made me really nervous. But when there's a bunch of people, like let's say I'm at the Phoenix Concert Hall, I don't know, I'm okay.
The morning
I love
shows
it.
are weird too. 'Cause
Yeah.
What time did they film it?
It was like 8 a.m. And then also too,
That's actually late for the morning show.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be there like
yeah.
6:30.
I think actually
I haven't slept yet.
we were there at 6:30, but by
Yeah.
the time I went on, it was about 8 a.m.
Right.
And then I remember just like everything, like the mic and the this and that, and then okay, we're gonna go on this time, and then no, and then they don't get presets. Like I feel like when you're at concert halls, like you have like amazing reverb on the mic and all that.
Right.
No, TV performance is very
Dry.
dry as bone. Who wants to be dry? It's like sex is not nice dry. It's the same thing vocally. Like it's just not nice. And then you're hearing that too because they give you like a little like ear
in-ear monitors.
Yes, and they're very different from your in-ear monitors at like live shows as well. So it's just. That wasn't fun.
And it's just like you gotta look back at that footage.
Oh my
like,
god! And then you're recording at the
mistake.
same time. It's just like
Yeah.
And it was interesting. There was 3 different cameras. Like there was like 2
The
panning on
morning
the side
show.
and the one. So you're like, where do I look while I try to be perfect? And like
You
it's
also
just-
can't mess up too because you're like
You're
got one
live.
shot.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like live shows are a little bit different. Like something like Danforth or Hall. It's just like if you make a mistake, you kind of like laugh at the audience and stuff. You can't do that on live TV. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Man, like I remember like even something about like being filmed too, and like if you're getting paid for this shit, like I was doing a TV show too, and it's like the first time I've ever done a TV show, and when they're filming me, I was like, make sure you don't fucking mess up because I'm actually getting paid. Whereas like stand up, it's like I tried to ting, like I'm not even getting paid for this show, like who cares? But for this, I was like, oh, like they called me in to be good. You know what I mean? So
What was it on?
It was The Coroner. It's I think they're doing like season 3 of it. And I just remember being like so like it was such like my first time being like on a big set and stuff, and it just was so like anxiety because it's like, oh, I actually care about this shit, like don't fuck up. And I feel like it's the same thing for the Fox 29 because it's like, man, in your head you're thinking about like the most amount of people who are going to watch this, so it's like
man.
It's not like YouTube. You can't like you have a bad take, it's like you already watched it bare times before putting it out, or
And
like a music video.
You can cut it the way you want.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask you guys, you guys are both creatives, right? I was just thinking because I know what kind of like my dream is, where I want to be in a certain amount of time and what I want it to look like.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that vision of like where you see yourself in 5, 10, 20 years, or like what the ideal situation is? You're like, if you could paint that picture for people listening.
I feel like 5 years ago, I had that perfectly mapped out. Now with everything so ever changing, with content being so different, like artists not being able to get like the 360 deal, like it goes like that perfect way. Like now artists are so independent, they're just doing their own thing.
It's almost better to not have the
360 no, 100%. But like I just feel like when we grew up, we were so conditioned to seeing artists groomed that way, where now everything's just like put it out on your own will, right? So my plan is definitely not the same. Like I think before I was only thinking only music, and of course I want us to lead with only music, but now I'm so open to whatever will work. Like if it's acting that ends up being the thing that takes me out of here, then that's what it's going to be. If not, if it's music, great. If it's something else, great. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you find like the music in your genre like is almost less about the music nowadays and
that's
more
another
about
reason.
everything else? Like
Have you guys-
how many follows you have, like all this.
Absolutely.
Have you guys ever heard the
Yep.
song Throat Goat?
No.
Oh, wait, Throat Baby.
Throat Baby.
Oh, throw a baby.
And it's
Baby.
literally we'll make a joke because it's like you think about like songs nowadays and just how like outrageous they are, but it's like the songs low key slap, so it's like it feels like it's in a sense where it's like everything just kind of takes balance. I feel like nowadays, even like with me, like for the content creation, I'd say I'm like on the same boat. It's like at first I thought like I just wanted to do like acting in movies, and now I'm sitting here going like, oh, I could do my own documentaries, or it's like I really want to get clothing going, or it's like I want to do music. And it's like I feel like now in today's generation, it's like you kind of have to do everything. Like I don't know people who aren't self-sufficient in having their own company, because like name any of these YouTubers like David Dobrik, right? Even though his main thing is YouTube, it's like you see him, he has his own cologne, he has his own clothing. It's like it's almost just it's hard to do just one thing nowadays.
Yeah, and you have to constantly be like innovating,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
It's crazy.
it's weird.
But
'Cause
yeah,
I
for
feel
the
like
music thing, it's like I agree with what you were saying before. Like, do you feel like you almost have to make less music? And like how he mentioned the Throw Baby song, like I can like kill myself to write like a really good song as like meaningful, and then it's like Throw Baby talking about like
It's like what did she say? Was JT say?
Oh, she goes, I like to be fucked like a slut. Like
She's
that's
like,
her
fuck.
opening line, like
yeah.
from the City Girls, right? Like, but it's just like, okay, so I need to go. I like
Well,
to be fucked like a slut.
I like to get
to go back to George Carlin, like that I like to get fucked like a slut.
Yeah.
He had this line to start off one of his specials that was basically like, you ever notice how all the women at abortion rallies are women you want to fuck in the first place?
Damn.
I'm sorry for laughing at that.
That's a fucking
That's
killer.
That is a
I think that was
killer.
Carlin. Yeah, that was Carlin who said that.
That one is a real. Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah, like the whole thing around music too, just meant like that was kind of why I wanted to leave more like rock and roll, like indie music, and just stick with kind of the folk genre, because I feel like it's one of the only
Untouched ones.
untouched things. Because it's literally just you and an acoustic guitar, or like
You're
maybe some
right.
light piano and drums. Like it can just be very.
Yeah.
It's very hard to take something that's so. It's like what do they say? If it never sounds old and it never sounds new, it's a folk song. So like
I like that.
yeah, I just think of all the genres, it's one that you can't totally get taken away from just the music at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is tough because, yeah, even I remember with Warner, they were always like, yeah, you guys got to have more followers. You got to focus on
Yeah.
like Instagram. And we had Ferraro on.
How would they push you on that? Like, what's
We had a couple. There was this one dude that was the original like social media guy,
Yeah.
and he was awesome. And then we had this other chick that like I mean I don't want to say names, but she was just the worst.
Yeah.
And it's like this is the thing, you like break your neck working on music. You're finally like selling out shows, and you're
Right.
like you got songs on the radio, all this stuff, and then you just have this chick who went to like university
Yeah.
and doesn't know anything about music, just telling you what to do with your social media platform.
Was it really outrageous stuff?
Yeah, we did some lame stuff, but it's more the thought that you're like, man, like I'm supposed to be a musician and I'm
Doing
listening to
this.
some
Yeah.
24-year-old like college graduate.
it's
Yeah.
tough because
You
it's
know,
like you live in a world where you think that like the content will speak for itself, but like I don't think that's the case anymore.
No.
Like, you can make the greatest song, but like just like you posting on Spotify is not going to be enough. You know what I mean?
You gotta
can
get a
make-
following. You gotta be a dancing monkey.
It's not
You said it.
Yeah, it's almost just like you got to do like there has to be balance in everything. So it's like
Well, you definitely have to tour, and that's the
Yeah.
one thing that's crazy right
Yes.
now. It's like musicians live in like the real world.
Yeah.
You know, it's not kind of online,
Yeah.
and that's what's pretty tough right
That's
now. You know,
it's tough for me too.
I was gonna going back to that question though about like where you see in your absolute dream scenario.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's a good
what do you have like a Steve Aoki thing where you have like your sick studio at home, like Post Malone?
Oh yeah, I
type
would
thing,
love
like,
that. Yeah, I would love that. I don't know. God, I don't even know anymore.
you don't know what your end goal
Your
would be?
dream, like fucking selling out a stadium, touring.
I feel
You
like
can make it
that's,
all
like-
at home.
That's always been part of it, but I don't know if that's like generic now.
I don't think so.
It's not
Isn't that
embarrassing that
crazy?
it's-
Isn't
to
that
say-
crazy that it feels like that now with everything changing? I'm just like, is that like just generic shit now?
Not really.
Like, do I need to aim higher?
I just feel like
No.
the
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but of course that's in my dream.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course I want to sell it. I want to do more than like one album, and I want to be able to do it like distribution with a really good label.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the tough
Yeah.
thing with like life nowadays, man. Like it's you want to get to that point, but then once you hit that point, it's just like, oh, like I want to do something else. You know what I mean? Because it's like for me, like my dream, like originally before acting, all that stuff was like to be a director. So like my goal would be able to make like feature films. But then at the same time, I feel like I'm always just like, oh yeah, I want to do that. But then in the same breath, I also want to be in it. And then I'm just like, I have a lot of different end goals for a lot of different things. And I feel like you can relate to that is that
I think we all can. On
that's
exactly like
it's not one thing. Like I can't see myself like it'd be dope to make those feature films, but that's one of my end goals. But
Yeah.
there's so much shit I want to do, and it's just like, man, you get one life. I want to do fucking everything and then just die.
Yeah.
You know.
That's honestly sorry.
Same.
One person I started like getting really. I'm like an Elon Musk dick rider for that reason because I feel like he's the ideal guy where
has
it's
a
like
birthday.
he's so fucking good at multiple things. Like he literally runs like
Yeah.
3 of the biggest companies in the world. It's just about how much time are you willing to
Yeah.
put into these endeavors. You can be a great filmmaker. You can be a great actor. You can be a podcaster. All those things. It's just like, do you want the 100-hour work week?
right? Yeah.
As long as it's shit you like, I don't see like what's the problem with
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? It's just I feel like for me the one like worry, and then it surprises me with Elon Musk is like, how do you be really good at something if you're doing everything? You know what I mean? Which is I feel like that's where my problem is. It's like 1 minute I want to get like really good at like, because right now I'm doing this documentary for like anti-maskers, right? It's
Oh
like,
yeah, tell us more about that.
I
'cause
want to.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, so like I want to go around like, because I've done other like crazy like documentaries. I did one where like I sell my foot pictures to strangers.
Oh, that was amazing.
So that's
Yeah, I think I saw that video.
Yeah.
That was on YouTube, right?
He's like, did you see the picture of him with the rose and like he's holding his feet together, like with the rose in the middle? I'm like, that's mine.
I did.
That's why my girlfriend probably thinks like a lot about me when she sees me in the circle jerk videos. There he is.
Like,
There he goes.
Oh, he's so cute. Doing a handstand ass naked.
Yeah.
So yeah. I see you going around asking girls like, would you buy this? And some girls are like, no.
most of them said no, actually. But I feel like I've done like a lot of like crazy like just weird documentaries. I was one of the first people to try Chick-fil-A in Toronto, so I got free Chick-fil-A for a year, which was pretty nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Based off his documentary.
Yeah.
And you're still not like in good shape. That's impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
I would be.
That was nice.
I would be huge.
I feel like I knew that I would have got fat by doing it, so I feel like I made sure I got like a lot of my friends to try Chick-fil-A, and I feel like I literally was what do you call the people who travel around the world to spread Christianity?
Oh my god.
What are those?
I was gonna say.
Like a good Samaritan?
No. It's like back in the day they would have those people to spread Christianity around.
I know who
They
you're
would-
talking.
they
Like,
would-
Yeah,
It's kind of like a Jehovah.
spreading the word of God.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like a
pretty
Jehovah's
much.
Witness,
Okay.
except it's different. It's
preachers.
Preachers.
Yeah,
Is that it? No,
it's-
preachers-
It's something specific. I know. Okay. Anyways, I was basically I was that person for Chick-fil-A, so I feel like I would go up to everyone. I was
Same
like, you haven't
thing.
tried Chick-fil-A? I was like, let me tell you about Chick-fil-A. I'm like, let me
Dude,
let me
it's
tell you
so
about the
good.
good Lord at Chick-fil-A, you know. And so I feel like I would get so many of my friends to do it. But so for this anti-masker documentary, I just kind of want to go around the city, like interview different people, see what they think about like Corona, see like just get a bunch of different stuff going. So I don't know.
And people are okay with being put on like blast like that, like camera in their face. How do you feel about Matt? Like they're pretty against
I
it.
feel
or
like certain
certain
depends
people
on-
love
it's
it.
the
Yeah.
people that he finds. They all love it. So I'm like, you
Yeah.
have something where you just find these
I guess you
interesting
can get these
people.
wackos.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, like they're already anti-maskers, you know,
Yeah.
like where you already
Yeah.
can get them to like they're really passionate about already what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like they want to be on that platform to talk that shit. And so it's just interesting. Like I'm gonna work on this for a minute and just see what I can do.
So
Wait, yeah,
to keep it on masks, there's actually literature out that like if you even wear a mask during an operation, it actually
Doesn't do
doesn't
anything?
stop. Yeah, there's literature out on that
Wow.
it doesn't even. They're actually not that useful. If you think about it, it's literally like throwing a bowling ball down like two mountains. Like,
Yeah, I heard that.
shit's just gonna get in
that they
anyways.
weren't as useful.
No.
Like, where did we hear that? Weren't we talking about that?
There's
We're talking about like literally
Yeah.
microscopic fucking cells that you can.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, it's weird. Like with the mask, it's basically what they're saying is that if you have a mask on, so if you have a mask, it doesn't mean that you can't get corona. It's basically saying that if you have a mask, you can't give it out. Do you know what I mean? So it's more so to stop it if you have it. So when you're wearing a mask, you're doing other people a favor, right? But the thing is it's just so funny because it's like
Most people are doing it for the opposite reason.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just, and also it's just like, it's not even that. It's like, you can even like just get it through touch, and it's like not everyone's wearing gloves.
Yeah.
So it's like after you take off your mask and you're putting your
Dude,
fingers in your mouth, and next thing you
Fucking
know,
people are
fucking
throwing their
corona.
mask like on their dirty couch
yeah.
and shit.
Oh my
It's like
God.
the shit they're catching, like they're like,
Yeah.
it's just
So
Their
gross.
mask gets dirtier. I don't know the whole mask thing. It's like I understand the precedent, but the execution is just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people are fucking wiping their ass with these things.
Oh
like,
my
it's-
god.
I feel like we're like the slowest in, I think, North America for lockdown, because
Yeah.
we've been in lockdown for, I think they said 300 consecutive days, and everyone else is fucking opening up.
Yeah.
Man, LA's opening
going on
up.
over here?
I don't know
Like-
how we dropped the fucking bag so much.
Yeah.
man. don't
Yeah, I
even
saw
know.
Dayglow was supposed to play a show in like Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like, man, at the Commodore Bar.
it's like our government wants something.
Seriously, they want to give us those vaccines to give us all the diseases.
They want us.
They want to feed us.
Are you guys gonna get the vaccine?
No,
You're not gonna get it.
I'm not gonna.
No.
What if they
It's
force
not-
you though?
I'm not getting it.
So you won't ever travel around the world.
I didn't get it either.
How
yet,
can
so.
you legislate that? The vaccines aren't even FDA approved.
That's what's getting me right now. I don't know.
I know someone who actually like reads the literature, like
Well, his girlfriend's like a scientist.
got her doctorate.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But there's a lot of negatives with it, and it's like if I don't. So they keep saying it doesn't actually stop the spread, right? You can still catch it. There's like. It's like, what are we doing then? Why are we making people take something that could actually make them sick as well?
Maybe it's more like a placebo in a sense, you know, like if they give people the vaccine, maybe they can just use that as being like, okay, so now we're good, and just
exactly.
Maybe they're just using it as that like excuse. But I feel like they can.
I don't want to be framed as a fucking anti-vaxxer because I was in Africa literally like the month last January, right? Yeah. To go to Africa, I had to get 5 vaccines. Wow. I had to get a yellow fever, all this crazy shit. Wow. So it's not like I'm anti-vax. It's like this one scares me a little bit, and that should be okay. Yeah. Like, why
Absolutely.
Do you know what yellow fever does to people? Like, fucking melts them from the inside. I had a whooping cough for a few weeks from COVID, and I was fine. I don't feel it necessary to get a vaccine.
You got COVID?
I think so. Yeah. When I got back from Kenya, I had this like crazy whooping cough, and I would like piss myself wet at night. Not actually piss myself, but like be soaked in bed. Like it was for sure. It was for sure because my mom got it, and she was in like Israel, and then like she met with me in Africa, and then I think she gave it to me, and we flew back. We brought it here.
Isn't that the thing? Like,
but I just don't.
Patient zero.
It's like I don't want people to think I'm anti-vax. If you want to get it, like go for it. I'm not gonna fucking shit on you for getting it, but I don't feel comfortable putting this one in my body.
Dude, I haven't even gotten the flu shot like ever, so I'm like kind of with you on that.
If there was a perfect time for the government to put something in a vaccine, this would be the one.
Everyone and people are posting these photos of like their exposed arm with the fresh Band-Aid on. It's like, dude, when I went to fucking Africa and got yellow fever vaccines and all these extra I wasn't posting fucking Band-Aid bullshit photos like a loser. It's like, stop fucking showing off your stupid Band-Aid photos.
I agree.
It's like, give me a fucking break. They had Ebola literally outbreaking in Africa. That killed like a shit ton of people, literally melted them from the inside, and we're worried about, I don't know.
But what happens in the scenario though, say for example, like another country says you can't come without getting the vaccine, kind of like Africa did. You know what I mean? Then you just won't go to the country.
I want to see what happens over the next. What you think we're gonna open up within a year? No. I don't think so. No. I think this is gonna be fucking 5 more years. Personally,
really?
I think so.
Well, I don't know.
We'll see. Well, I fucking said last year. I said this is gonna be longer than fucking a month.
We'll be talking about it in 5 years still, though, and still seeing.
We'll be doing a reoccurring podcast every year.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I'm like, I want to move to Texas. Like. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm literally
like, I'm just like, let's go to Texas.
No, but I think it's like, I'll see how people react after it's only been like 3 months people getting it. I've already seen the Johnson & Johnson one made some guy's leg like his skin melted off and shit. I'm not getting that shit.
Yeah. So my mom got the vaccine.
So did my parents.
Uncle got the vaccine.
How was she like getting
My mom was having some wine the night after taking it.
It's like,
I thought you were about to say, I thought you were about to say
was good.
She got so drunk on wine. She's like, fuck it.
The problem is we also live in a culture where it's like the immediate is like, oh, I'm good within a month. It must be fine. This is a fucking 5 years thing where it's like vaccines take 7 to 10 years to get legalized. Yeah. This is a 6 month fucking. We don't know what we're sticking in.
They rushed it.
They rushed that shit.
It scares me. I was gonna call it the jab because we get like YouTube's bots know when we're talking about the jab. So
demonetized. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that COVID header.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
More information about COVID-19.
Guys. Take the vaccine if you want. I'm just an idiot. What do I know?
Yeah, we are not medical experts.
I just don't feel comfortable getting it. That's what I'm saying.
And also, why can't you just have an opinion on it? It's like if everybody is going to be taking it, why can't you be like, oh, I want to do this, or I don't want to do this? It's not like a bad thing.
I feel like I feel like it's like. I feel like it's not a bad thing. I feel like you're somewhat educated to be skeptical on a vaccine. It's like, it's not, I just don't know everything about it. I want to see everyone else take it first.
The guinea pigs.
Everyone's good. Yeah, you guys take it, and then I'll do it afterwards. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like if anyone who says, like, I'm not sitting here saying, yo, don't take the vaccine, but it's just like, is it so bad to say that I'm skeptical about the shit? You know what I mean?
I think it's actually more beneficial to be like questioning things. I think that's what makes our society so great. Not just, hey, like hopping on board to like what was the conversation we were having the other day? Is like, I don't know. Let's get off. Yeah, let's get off. But yeah, one person we were talking to was just basically like, okay, let's say, because I said my ideal situation is this free country. If you feel like you're safe enough to go out to a bar, then you should be able to go to a bar. Like this idea that we can tell people where they can and can't go is childish. And the person said like, well, what if you get sick from going to the bar? Then should my tax dollars pay for you? And then it's like, well, how many people smoke a pack of cigarettes a day and get fucking throat cancer and everyone's been paying for them for fucking eternity?
Wow.
How many billions of dollars does that cost? It's like, take some of these tax dollars and build a field fucking hospital so we can enjoy our lives, for God's sakes, instead of putting this fucking jab in us.
And I feel like that's seriously a good point though, because think about it, it's like
It's a great point.
You as a business, it's like, okay, well, I'm willing to take that risk. If people want to come in, I'm down to take that risk. If they don't want to wear masks, I'm down to take that risk. But it's like, that's actually a very good point.
You get like laughed out of the room now for that opinion. It's fucking insane. It's like the society we are in now is like irrational to the max.
So you're saying that you're an anti-masker.
No, I said yesterday on my podcast, I'll put the mask on and act like it's helping me.
Yeah. I feel like, and plus it's like, you just don't want to get stared at. You don't want the issue.
I'm putting it on to not be a douchebag. Like I put it on, I wear it around. It's like, I'm not going to be confrontational, but if I had it my way, we're fucking humans. It's like, we need social groups. Like, it has to get back to normal. We can't keep doing this. You can't live on fucking apps. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's not working.
Crazy.
I think it's driving people crazy. It's like the whole mental illness too.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
it's just heightening like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Just and
I don't want to make you guys feel uncomfortable with this conversation. I don't
no, not at all.
I want to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
For me, it was like the kind of like hope when we were reaching December. It was almost like, okay, 2020 is going to be over. Yeah. There's like a new year coming up. Like we got a lot of hope. It's going to be good. And then for me, with just like more on the mental health side, you're just like, you're so excited. And then it was like lockdown.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we kind of got open. And it's like, okay, summer's coming. It's going to be another, maybe we can play like an outdoor show or something like that. But then it was like, no. And then, so we are just kind of seeing. So it's more like it's kind of like messing with you.
Yeah.
You know what
sometimes you're here, sometimes you're there.
The hardest part?
But I personally, like, to end it, like, I just think nobody cares that much.
No.
If you
They
go
don't.
walk
We were talking
around,
about
I think the government tries to make it seem like everyone
yeah,
cares.
like the news is,
Yeah.
and like Instagram and all this stuff is making it seem way worse. But I was hanging with friends at a park on Saturday, and it was packed. People were hanging.
We
We were all
saw.
talking.
Was that Trinity Bellwoods?
It's almost like
I wasn't at Trinity. It was at the Fort York. But yeah, like
we
just walk
passed
down
Trinity
Queen.
Bellwoods and it was
Yeah.
packed this weekend.
Exactly.
No one gives a
I think people are so over this shit now that it's almost just like, it's not helping the situation, but in the same breath, it's just like, okay, so there's clearly a bunch of people who are done this shit. It's like, we should almost just put this shit to a vote and just call it a day. Just have everybody go online, just fucking vote whether or not we're gonna keep going with this shit, and then just be done.
Or
with this shit.
what
I would like. That's democracy, right?
Yeah, seriously.
my
for it.
brother-in-law was like, why don't we just divide the groups? The group that like wants to have fun and live their life and doesn't give a fuck because they'd rather be dead anyways than live in a society where everything's shut down all the time. And then everyone who wants to be locked down forever and play on their iPad all fucking day can go on this side. It's like,
Yeah, Canada's
Not a
huge.
bad idea.
You guys, I don't. Have you guys ever seen Attack on Titan?
no.
No,
Okay,
it's
so
not.
it's like, okay, so
an
it's an
anime.
anime, but still, it's kind of in the sense where it's like you put some people like on like another island. Oh, there's gonna be spoilers though. So it's like you put people on another island, and it's just like you tell them that like they have a whole different history. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like how you guys, you know, like Stephen King, like Under the Dome.
Yeah.
It's literally gonna be like some people under a dome living like with the coronavirus, but then outside everyone's just like, oh, fuck it. Like, dude, they're like, you guys are still talking about corona. It's like, yo, what the fuck? So,
Dude,
that?
I don't know if you ever heard of the 1984 book.
yeah.
It honestly kind of reminds me of that
We're
one.
getting
Yeah.
controlled, man. We're getting controlled.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, because they do have like the thought police, and
Yeah.
essentially the whole thing
That
is
is
like
so crazy.
everybody can rat on any
Yeah.
everybody.
Dude.
So if you get ratted on, then you go to this weird
Yeah.
jail, and then they try to break you by making like your
Re-education
worst
camps.
fears
Yeah.
come true.
It's like Nazi Germany, man.
yeah.
Crazy.
I was in Keswick, fucking bad place to be. But I was walking by this person's house who clearly had some people over, and this fucking lady stops her car and like pulls her phone, like clearly calls the cops.
No.
Oh,
I'm like, what a
My
fucking what world do we live in where that's
sad.
We're literally giving power to rats who play
Yeah.
on their iPad all day. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
So if everything opens up, what's kind of what do you guys do?
Yeah, let's
What's
get
the
out of
first-
the negative.
What's the first
I
thing?
wanna
Because there should be
travel.
some like a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because
I want to travel.
personally, I think we will get out of this. Like,
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at Texas, look at Florida. People like.
Hell, I was in Florida in fucking December.
Yeah, it was
And
a bash.
I had to come back here and be like, fuck.
Florida just doesn't
So
give
you
a
had to
fuck.
quarantine for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Florida doesn't give a fuck.
Literally,
about shit.
I was supposed to come home January 11th, and then Canada's like, they were basically enacting you had to quarantine in a hotel as
Yeah.
well. So we're like, fuck, let's quickly change our flights, like get home earlier so we don't have
Wow.
to stay in
I've
the
seen
hotel
that
too.
Yeah, so if we went to go on vacation, you have to come back and quarantine in a hotel.
And
Do
then
they
your
pay
house.
for it?
I think you pay for
You
it
pay for it.
Wow.
So hold on.
that's
If you're
ass.
quarantined in a hotel,
for 3 days, and then you go to your
Oh.
house.
Oh, only
but in
3
those
days?
14
three,
days.
in those 3 days, are you allowed to like go for a walk?
No, you're in your hotel
I have
room.
to stay. I thought they paid for it.
That's crazy.
No, you gotta pay
You
for
pay
it.
for it?
Yeah.
So
What?
Yeah.
my
This is
sister's
ridiculous.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It's a little over the
no.
top. Yeah.
No.
my sister's husband, his dad, was like an accountant, and he has a house in Hong Kong and a house
Wow.
in the UK. And so throughout this whole thing, he's been traveling back and forth.
UK has the
And-
variant.
Yeah, well, and so in the UK,
Dude, who
when-
doesn't have a variant? There's the Brazilian, the fucking...
That's so true.
there's
little
going to be
bit
the
of Irish.
Canadian variant.
I got the
I'm
Irish.
surprised we haven't already like said that. Like
Seriously.
Yeah.
plastered it everywhere. CP24, the variant. Toronto, like
Yeah.
The Toronto
Surprise.
variant.
Dude.
There's going to be a Brampton variant.
Dude, I got that
There
scar,
is already?
bro. I got that scar, bro.
It's wild. Like, I just feel like it's so much information overload, man. It's like I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. It's such
Seriously.
bullshit.
Jeez.
But yeah, so he actually, so when they went to Hong Kong, I'm not gonna mess up the details, but yeah, you get there, you have to get like a test.
Test,
Yeah.
So they test you, and then they have someone drive you there, and you get like a little like chip that like tracks where you are. So they
Is it
can
like
know.
a bracelet?
Yeah, like a little
in your
like
hand?
like a little
It's a
bracelet,
bracelet,
right?
I was like, damn.
And so like it attaches to your phone, so they know where you are.
This is in Hong Kong?
Yeah, in Hong Kong, and like you have to pay some stupid amount to be at the hotel for a number of days, and then like even if you test negative, you have to go back to your place, and then you have to like walk around like your house, so the chip can like create like a vicinity of where you can and can't go, and if the bracelet, I should stop saying chip, it's the bracelet.
Yeah.
But if the bracelet and your phone go farther away, then they'll get like a notification and the cops will come to the house. Because like, just so you're not like, oh, I can just leave my phone one area and then just leave, right? So they have some crazy
It almost
measures
seems like a
going
really
on.
easy way to implement like sensing people and what they do. And
That's scary.
Yeah.
seems like a really
That's really scary.
So it's like,
Dude.
Yeah, no thanks.
so we actually, at least like ours isn't too bad. And then you can just go to Florida and walk around like a normal
Yeah,
person.
right.
that chip, the whole chip thing reminds me. Me and like before you guys got here, I was showing them. Do you know Neuralink?
Yeah, with
No.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay,
they're
okay.
trying to
I
create.
did. I actually told you about it. How he was able to. You remember I was talking about like you can control
That-
like
right.
a
Oh, you
robotic
said this
arm.
literally
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
That's what it's called then. Okay, cool.
I wish I could play the video for you guys, but he basically put so last year they had a chip in a pig, and I think it was like a week ago they had like 2 chips in a monkey, and the monkey was playing. First, it showed the monkey playing Pong with like a
Yeah.
joystick, and then they
cool.
disconnected the joystick.
Okay.
And the monkey was playing Pong with its brain
Yeah.
only.
That's what I was telling you. I was
And
like, it's like they'll eventually be able to like have like people who like lost limbs. It's like you can control it by just thinking about it.
And then I was telling him it reminds me of like that scene in Zoolander where like the guy's like, you're gonna kill the governor or the prime minister of wherever this
Dude.
Asian country. And he just like all of a sudden goes fucking nuts and like
I haven't seen Zoolander in so
Oh
long.
my god!
Oh man.
The whole premise is basically like on an instant he can
Yeah.
get brainwashed and fucking.
Yeah.
be an assassin.
Yeah.
Sometimes the future scares me, man, with that shit. Like, but I'm also like just kind of here for the ride. I feel like with today's generation, so much shit happens in a year that it's just like we're so desensitized to shit that it's like, oh, okay, like, whatever. Neuralink, it's like, oh,
we're like made too aware of it every single day, and it's like I really wish I could be better at not picking up the phone and getting brainwashed every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's a part of the negativity cycle. You can go. It's gonna be really positive, but also very like.
It's only up to you, man. Because like, think about it. It's like you ever just be talking about shit and then Instagram promotes that shit.
Oh yeah,
yes,
like,
all the time.
It's always like, listen. I generally think that like it tracks your eye movement too to see like even if you don't like it, it knows where you're looking and like what picture you're looking at. It's like it gets you, man. Like,
It's been weird lately because every time we mention someone, boom, they're there the next day on Instagram, first picture in the
seriously
on the feed. I'm like, okay.
And it's tough for us as people that almost, it's like you don't like Instagram and all this stuff, but at the same time, that's like your domain.
I know.
That's what, you want to put stuff out and you want to kind of like
right now.
conquer it.
And it's so funny because like I'm most creative when I put all that shit aside, but I also need that shit
to push
put it
forward.
out. So it's almost just like it's a catch-22. You know what I mean? There's no way out on that shit.
Yeah,
I was curious because I saw you were followed by Six Buzz.
Yeah.
I don't really know kind of the history of Six Buzz. Like, do you know where it like started and everything? Because it seems like they're massive.
Yeah.
Like they are the kind of like Toronto platform.
The hub, yeah.
Right?
No, I think that was just one of those things where it's, you had one of those Instagram pages, like you kind of like had a trend where people would like be reposting things. And I feel like I was there at like the beginning where like, in Toronto, we were all making like skits for Instagram, not necessarily for YouTube, right? And so things would just kind of get like reposted on certain pages, and there was a bunch of different pages. It's just that Six Buzz was the one to kind of get the most popular, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's funny. It's like, it's not the first time. It's not like unheard of, like you necessarily, because you have World Star, I guess they kind of took that
formula,
formula and just kind of applied it to Toronto culture, because realistically, like, Toronto culture is so unique. Like, I don't know anyone else that's kind of like that. So after that, like when they were posting skits of like me and my friends, and they would post other people, like they'd find characters.
Do you know who they are? Like who's?
It's one main guy, and then it kind of like developed into like a team of people. So yeah. It's definitely taken like, it's been, how long has Six Buzz been open for? Like 3 years now?
I was gonna say
only 3 years.
4
I was
years?
gonna say
It's
3 or
crazy.
3 to 4, yeah.
And I feel like the culture's changed since Six Buzz has
they
been a
first
thing,
started
man.
popping off, yeah.
It's crazy. And so you don't have no other platforms. It's kind of like what's it called when it's like it's not an oligarchy, it's like the fucking dictatorship, you know what I mean? It's like you have the smaller pages, but it's like this is the page that kind of like
you go to as you first,
dictates the culture, so it's crazy to see that. Yeah, it's wild.
An oligarchy.
Even with like music videos, I know they had, I think like Just John had some stuff. We were talking about him earlier. But yeah, I always see they'll have, which I think is actually a cool idea, where if 6 artists are releasing a song, they'll have
they do
like
that,
6 different things.
Yeah.
It's like back in the day, you only had like much music.
Yeah.
But now there's so many other options of ways you can kind of promote yourself.
Yeah, it's like it's the same thing necessarily. It's just on a different platform. It's like it's not unheard of to have that type of thing. It's just really cool to see how like they've done a lot of good for other people too, just getting that growth. So like it's you can get some good and bad, because I know that they know what gets attention.
Oh man, do they ever?
Know. They know what gets attention.
Their comments on Six Buzz.
They know what gets attention.
It's so weird because
People drag you to filth on there.
Dude,
they're so mean.
it's like sometimes, like especially with all the situations on right now, you'll see something and you'll think, oh yeah, they'll be anti this, and then you see it, it's like they're the complete opposite. Like the comments are so
They're
weird.
insane.
It's crazy.
Some people just comment though just to get a reaction.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really take
That's why I hate going on like Six Angels live. Like the guy of Six Angels, like he'll always ask me to like do the live with like and go talk to like different people in there, and I hate.
What's Six Angels?
So it's kind of like the sister channel to Six Buzz, and it's just like mostly like promoting like the hot girls of Toronto. It's like sometimes I like talk about artists as well.
I'm
so
trying
like
to get a 6 man's page done. The hot man's in Toronto.
But
I feel like it wouldn't be as popular.
yeah, no.
It wouldn't.
But I feel like whenever they're like looking for like a female artist, like then they'll ask like me or whoever else is like, you know,
Right.
doing their thing in the city, and then they ask us to go on live and just like talk to people. And yeah, every time I go on there, it's just like, oh, bring it in. It's just, I see it all.
Savage.
Cardi B, this and that. Cardi B from Wish, like all kind of, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's
People,
the
they want-
meanest shit
I think it's
ever.
too- just
Yeah,
'cause
you can't take it to heart
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
people are just because then it's probably just some like
Yeah.
weird dude just all
really
alone in
is.
his
Yeah.
parents'
Yeah.
basement.
No, it is because like even the times when I've
know?
accepted people, like it was like some weirdo with like one green light in the back, and he's like,
Hello.
Oh my
he's
God.
like, show your tits. I don't like you. Get off here. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then he says, I don't like you.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Well, why the fuck are you on Six Angels? I'm like, okay.
I don't like you. Show
yeah,
your tits.
yeah, that's enough.
There's a comedian. There's this comedian who she'll do like Instagram live.
Yeah.
And she'll go on. It's like Omegle or
yeah, yeah. I keep
And
seeing that on
she'll-
TikTok.
Yeah, like she'll film like her doing that.
Yeah.
And some of the interactions
Oh, they're
are
amazing.
so
Dude.
weird.
It's kind
But
of like
it's
the
so
same
interesting
thing
to
on
see.
Six Angels. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're like, these are just random people. Like, what are you doing?
Randoms. Like, yeah. And they're just ready to like just tear your whole life down.
There is this
Just
one.
because.
I
There
don't
is
like
this-
you. Show your tits.
Show your tits. Yeah. No, literally. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
It was cute. There's this
Guys are
one
wild.
kid who's like 20 years old. No, maybe he's probably like 12 years old. He's like a young kid.
Yeah.
And it goes and she's filming and she has quite a lot of followers, right? And he was like, hey, like, can you like and subscribe to my friend's channel? And he's acting like it's his friend's channel. And she's
really
like,
it's
oh,
his?
it's really it's his, yeah.
Stop.
And she's like, oh, like, and then she has all these people on it. And he's like, oh my God, like, I just got 300 subscribers. Like, what is happening? And there's all these comments. And this like cute little kid is just freaking
Aw,
out.
That's so cute though.
Yeah, she's like, oh, well, like, do you want to like call your friend and tell him? He's like, oh, he's busy. He's busy right now. Like, he
Totally
can't
use that
talk.
to his advantage.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
Oh man. And I was watching. I was like late, like a week later, whenever I got on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to this guy's thing and liking and subscribing
That's cute
Jeez.
though.
just for fun.
Man, it's crazy. So much good stuff can come from it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a
It's
such
like a toss-up.
It's Wild West, man.
It really
It's like,
Never
why not help each other? You know,
I
the
know.
end goal should be
Yeah.
like. I always found like in a lot of different music communities, like there were like a lot of like music communities where. Like everyone just helped everyone. They're coming for us. They're just talking about COVID.
We're not wearing our masks.
But yeah, like there were like a lot of music scenes like really supportive. Like, you know,
Yeah.
everyone helps everybody, and I think that's something we should all try to
Be doing more, right?
be doing more. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's easy and like it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be hard.
It's just ego, man. Sometimes ego just gets in the way, and people just want to like, yeah, I just want the whole shit for myself, you know. So it's just difficult to see.
yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of people. Is like it is easy to help people, but in the same time, it's easier to just be like, no, you know what I mean. So it's different, you know.
Right.
Just depends on who you are, you know. And just support people's shit, dog. Like, jeez, yeah. I don't know.
Sweet. Well, yeah. I don't know if there's any final things you guys want to talk about or promote. But
where do you think like not where do you think where can the people find you?
Yeah.
Social medias, your your TikTok, your YouTube, your Instagram,
Oh
your,
my God.
your home
I know.
address.
TikTok is at official Nadia Stone. Instagram is just Nadia Stone. You can just type in YouTube Nadia Stone. You'll find everything you need.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. You know, you just
You're
type
Nadia
in-
Stone.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
You're Nadia Stone too. It's okay.
We all together. Yeah, you just type in Bilal Dawson, you'll find me. You'll look at my feet pictures, you know, coming soon. Anti-masker documentary coming soon. So, you know, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you
There you
guys.
go.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thank
It
you.
was
guys.
a pleasant surprise. I actually had a lot of fun. Thank
Yeah.
you guys for
Awesome.
coming.
Oh, that
Thank
why
you.
is that a surprise?
I didn't know what to expect.
yeah.
They didn't, they didn't know if I was coming. It's like,
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When the anti-masker doc
Yeah.
comes out, let's do this again.
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
fun.
That'd
Let's
be
do it.
fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm down.
Thank you
All right.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Cool.